Guys, we're gonna be nerd raging today. Nerd raging about the biggest, stupidest change in World of Warcraft I could ever imagine. And it's an overbuff to PvP weapons. The PvP weapons, my PvP weapons right now have 6200 PvP power. From 2800 we went to 6200 PvP power. You know what happened in that time? I died. I legitimately died. I got Novad in RBG and I had 2 frost bombs on me. Normally I don't AMS at 100% HP, but because I had 2 frost bombs on me, I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I should AMS it. So I'm AMSing it, and the Warlock, the Destruction Warlock, casting the Chaos Bolt right into my face. He landed his Chaos Bolt onto me, and then they blew out 2 frost bombs, and I died because Chaos Bolt ate the freaking AMS, and then 2 frost bombs killed me. This is awesome because all I see in RPGs right now are the big ass caster cliffs. It's more broken than in season 8 caster cliffs because the amount of PvP power everybody get. Why everybody should try to come into near to caster cliffs like rogues or warriors when all the casters can hold everybody at range and just blow them up completely. And I play Warlock, I play Shadow Priest, I know how broken it is right now. But let's keep going here and let me talk here. So ready? Okay. The PvP power, a huge bonus to PvP power, actually affects a lot of classes in a negative way. Like Unholy Decays, Affliction Lux, to some extent Shadow Priest, because they do not have burst, their damage comes from dot damage. And if there's so much burst going on, who would ever want to bring a dot class over the burst class in a just inconceivable to me. And I also don't understand why did they put a change yesterday, didn't check it out on PTR at all. Now I understand the main reason why is because they want PvP weapons to be best for PvP and PvE weapons will be best for PvE. But in all honesty, this is the worst, stupidest possible way to actually fix it. Here's what you do. You ready? We have too much burst. Don't buff PvP power on the weapons. Just buff the resilience by another 2000. Just add like 3, 4, 5% resilience. And 4% extra resilience actually reduces your damage taken by 10%. This is how exponentially it works at the higher levels. So, excuse me. So, this is what you do. And this is actually very easy. Buff resilience, keep the PvP power. So, PvEers, not PvEers, who decide to actually roll with a freaking heroic weapon, well, they can actually get easily shit on because they will be very squishy because they won't have a lot of resilience. Or if you're doubling the PvP power, that's perfectly fine, but you need to quadruple or give 5 times more resilience to offset that on the weapons. That's when the weapon's gonna be best. Not only PvP power, but also a resilience side of it. You cannot buff. This is the scale. Like, okay, dear developer from Blizzard, I understand you like to play your match at 1500 ratings and you think they're not overpowered, but this is the scale. This is the scale. This is PvP power, this is resilience. When you buff so much PvP power, how much exponential burst is gonna get? A lot more. That's what you need to do. You need to buff resilience to the same level than the PvP power. That's when you actually gonna start having that's when PvP won't get too affected. It's not gonna be a huge burst count because all I see right now in 3s is a double frost mage, is any spell cliffs. Bringing a melee is like it puts a huge drawback on you, almost huge drawback. And the funniest part about it is I killed a Resto Druid on my Demon Luck, while he was in the tree farm trying to spam heals on himself. I killed, me and my warrior killed another warrior with all his defensive pops, shield wall, his die by the sword, everything, while the healer was spamming heals on him. And don't get me wrong, Demon Locks are pretty damn strong with all their bursts. But hey, guess what? Mages are actually stronger with more controlled bursts. So what the PvP power change did is actually benefited all the freaking casters, all the burst classes we can burst down, but completely penalized all the dot classes, all the indirect damage classes like Affliction Lux that I like to play, like Unholy Decays. And the most stupidest thing right now is you have to pop defensive CD stacking. So if somebody goes offensive, you're no longer gonna survive with just one defensive CD pop. You have to stack all of them or you're gonna croak. Let me give you an example. 2300 RMP opened up on my luck. I popped my Hellstone, my Shield, my Unending Resolve. Then I got Silence and I could not pop my Dark Regeneration. That was the only defense CD I couldn't pop. Maybe Twilight, whatever. But, okay, so those two I couldn't pop. But I popped my Hellstone, which is 40% hot heal, my 50% damage reduction, and I popped my 200k shield. Guess what happened? I still died in the opener. Because this is what you need to do. You need to just trinket, just any first blank. This is what kind of professional World of Warcraft player Blizzard wants you to do. You need to, my friend, just trinket the first blanket crowd control on you and pop every single defensive. So in 5 seconds afterwards you can pop all your offensive abilities and maybe global somebody else. Really, this sounds like a very much skill to involve to play. This is absolutely awesome. In all honesty, I have no idea why, like, how they implemented so much PvP power without actually giving it any big huge testing. And the thing is, I feel like cheated by a whole lot. I feel like I went out on a date and I'm going to the girl's place to have fun with her, and then I found out that she actually has a penis. This is how I felt after 5.1 patch. This is stupid as hell and I don't understand. Blizzard, I made a thread about it too. I'm probably gonna make another one on the forums. Blizzard, please, I'm begging you, quadruple or give us 5 times more resilience on the weapons right now. Hard fix it this instant, because otherwise you're not gonna be looking at the semi-decent season. I'm not. This season is much worse than last season, and I thought that the last season, End of Cataclysm, with the legendary rogues anal raping everybody, I thought that was really bad. But this is actually 10 times worse because no skill required at all whatsoever. Please fix that shit. Hire somebody from the professional development team to actually balance out your fucking PvP, because this is absolutely disgusting. I'm really this close to actually quitting that piece of shit game and just focusing on League of Legends. Has way more viewers, way more stream viewers, way more YouTube viewers, or go for the Guild Wars 2, because this is absolutely inexcusable to do something that completely changes the PvP perspective without any testing at all whatsoever. Please get it right, Blizzard.